Hello from Ross-Ade Stadium, the site for the 100th Old Oaken Bucket matchup between Indiana and Purdue. And well, it was the Hoosiers taking care of business once again, flexing their muscle and getting a 56-3 win over their in-state rival. They were on the road. It didn't feel like it. There was a lot of red in the stands here. The Hoosier fans traveled very well. What it took in this game: Fernando Mendoza, of course, has all the Heisman talk. Not the best game through the air, but he didn't need it on a night like this. The running game was the catalyst that drove this offense to some points. 355 total rushing yards. Kalon Black and Roman Hemby leading the way. 5 rushing touchdowns on the ground. And things just sort of got out of hand near the end of that first half. And once IU has their pedal to the metal, they are not going to take it off. So here they are. They're 12-0 now. First time in program history they have a perfect regular season record. And for the first time ever, they are going to be playing for a Big Ten championship. Now, as I stand here early Saturday morning, it's unsure who they are going to play. It could be Michigan. It could be Oregon. It could be Ohio State. That's all going to unfold as we head in to Saturday night. I do want to also talk about Purdue in this game. So you had Barry Odom, first-year head coach. They win their first 2 games here at home. They start off 2-0. Things are starting to turn up. Well, then things just got sour, and they lost their last 10 games of the year, finished the season 2-10, 0-8 in the Big Ten, and now extending their losing streak to 18 games in conference play. It takes a long time to rebuild a culture within a program. Curt Cignetti just goes against that. He came in here last year and turned things around right away. So not everyone can do that. But Curt Cignetti, again, has gotten us to this point. He's lost just 2 games since taking over last year. He's taking them to the Big Ten championship, and he's certainly on the verge of taking them to yet another college football playoff appearance. IU, again, winning 56-3, 12-0 on the year. Here's the team after the performance.
All right, good team win tonight. We challenged the team to improve, even though we had won the last 2 games. I didn't feel like we had improved those 2 weeks, and we asked our guys to do more. Do we still have the killer instinct to put a team away? Can we get everybody to play for the team and eliminate all selfishness? And then at halftime, when we're up 28-3, we challenged the team to play the best third quarter of the season, which I think they responded and tried to do that. So obviously, it's the first team in Indiana history to go 12-0 in the regular season. And that's absolute, and regardless of what happens from here on out, this team will always be the first team in Indiana history to go undefeated in regular season. So it's a great job by the players. We've got a lot of good players that have high character, a lot of leadership. It's a great job by the assistant coaches, the sports staff, Derek Owings and his staff. And I'm extremely appreciative of President Pam Whitten and Scott Dolson for their leadership and support in making this possible, because it takes a commitment to make this possible. So we followed up an 11-1 with a 12-0. It's not a bad start. And, I'm sure I'll get that question. Did I ever think that was possible? But I'll be honest with you, it happened so fast, I was just trying to figure out what I was going to pack and bring to Bloomington. And here we are. So, but I think everybody in the organization understands there's work to be done and what lies ahead, and we're excited for the future. Questions?
Zach, on your left and Niz.
Kurt, I guess like in that vein, you said a couple weeks ago against Wisconsin, after Wisconsin, you said it's hard for you to have sort of take that step back. But on a night when you do something that, as you say, is kind of final and forever, like, do you encourage your team to have a moment where they just sort of soak in and appreciate this has never happened before? Whatever you accomplish from here, you've done something historic.
Well, believe it or not, I don't control every thought, action, habit of our team or coaches. There's a lot of celebrating going on in that locker room right now. There's a lot of cigars being smoked, and they're having a good old time. And but they also understand that they get to enjoy it for 24 hours. And it's a great night for Indiana, for our fan base, our alums, our loyal supporters, everybody that cares about Indiana. This is something that a lot of people probably thought couldn't happen. And it just goes to show you when you have a commitment and a plan and you have the right people in place, anything's possible. So here we are, but more work to be done.
Knees on your left and Matt.
What's it been like, though? I mean, Aiden Fisher, first thing he does gets the bucket, runs with a team, then runs over to you. And those JMU guys have had a lot of these moments. I mean, does that make you emotional that these guys followed you, came with you, trusted you, and they've risen to these heights now in 2 years?
I guess it could if I dwelt on it. I don't have time, really. There's so many things that I'm involved with when the game ends. I did happen to notice that and had a special moment with Tyreek Tucker, who, is somebody that I've known for a long time. And, so they've had a lot of great seasons. Yeah, they have, and we have together. But it's, it's our first undefeated regular season. We've had a lot of one-loss seasons. But, this is a team. Everybody that contributed to this, from the president to the athletic director and his staff, the assistant coaches, all the support staff, and the players, their hard work, the players who graduated last year and played a role to make this happen, carry that kind of momentum and credibility forward. It's something that everybody played a part in, and certainly our tremendous fans.
Man on your left and Pete.
Coach, again, run game, just keep wearing them down. Eventually the game breaks. You break their will. Passing game was maybe not as sharp, early on. Just your thoughts on that, on the O-line and the run game, especially with some moving parts there on the O-line, to go out there and 355 yards rushing.
Well, when you play in these kind of conditions, it sure helps if you can run the football, right? And, like people talk about, defense travels, run game travels too, especially in these kind of conditions. And the pass game took a while and really never quite was on point. But the run game sure was good, a lot of explosive plays, and the defense got some turnovers for us, and Purdue couldn't find the end zone, and special teams were solid. So it was a good all-around team win.
Pete on your left and Ravi.
Yeah, maybe just the performance of Stephen Daly. He was dominant, especially early on.
Yeah, Daly's a guy that just keeps getting better and better and better. And there's another guy, I've known of him for a long time, was in our camp at JMU, ran sub 4.4, 4.4, low 4.4, 40-yard dash in camp at 232 pounds, about 6% body fat at the time. He was a sub 10.8 100-meter guy in high school. And he played at a really small high school, and then he went to Kent State. And so, he came here this summer. He committed to us a few months before that. It's like he hadn't done anything. He came in out of shape. But, he's got the type of body, and, in 2-3 weeks, he was back in pretty good shape. But, he's getting the kind of development now through, nutrition, strength and conditioning, coaching, that kind of thing, where you're really seeing him start to blossom. Wish we had him for another year or two, but we don't. And, he's a key player for us right now.
Ravi in front and Jim.
Coach, what is it about this group that made them capable of 12-0 doing it?
I don't know. I'm not sure I have the answer to that. There's a lot of multiples and dynamics that go into that. I think the Illinois game was a big game for us. We had our eyes on them. We were kind of lurking in the weeds, so to speak, after last year. We'd gotten hammered so badly because of how we played against Ohio State and Notre Dame. We didn't talk about it, but it was there. It was there every day, every hour, every minute. And Illinois was coming to town, and they were getting hyped up, and they were number 9 in the country, and we were ready. And then from then on, we found a way. When the games got tight at the end, we found a way to win it. Quarterback made the plays, receivers made the plays, the defense made the plays. So, we are where we are, and there's some tough challenges ahead, but this is a team that's definitely capable.
Jim on your left and Daniel.
Kurt, you alluded to it at the beginning of what would be possible, 12-0 at Indiana, I'm assuming. But as you look around the landscape, there's not very many 12-0 teams. How difficult is it, period, to go 12-0 in college football today, much less in the Big Ten?
It's really hard. Especially at the P4 level. I think there's only about 5 Big Ten teams that have gone undefeated in regular season since 2000. That's 26 years, 25, 26 years. Ohio State a couple times, Michigan once, Oregon once. Other than that, that's it. Indiana now, add them to the list.
Daniel in front, then Zach.
I think from last year and now, you guys are now have outscored them 122 to 3. Do you take pride in that? Just how do you feel about that?
No, I mean, it's a rival game that's important. First of all, it's a game on our schedule, and every game's important. It's a rival game that means a lot to our alums. So, the water cooler on Monday, so to speak, right? The fact that we've outscored them like we have, it's just a fact of where we're at and where they're at right now. They're going to get better. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to get better. Coach is going to do a great job of improving that roster, coaching that football team. And, they just sort of hit rock bottom. It timed up with my arrival, and we've had 2 nice nights against them.
Second, you're right. We'll wrap with Mike.
Coach, you talked about not seeing the improvement you wanted to from Penn State to Wisconsin. How much of tonight was solely focused on seeing that improvement that you didn't see?
That was the entire message today to the staff and the team is, do we still have the killer instinct? Can we play for one another as a team and leave? We don't have a lot of selfishness on this team, but anytime you have 105 players, there's some, right? Can we leave that in the locker room? And so it doesn't show up on the field. Can we get receivers blocking downfield, play in, play out? Can we get our safeties lining up with a sense of urgency and everybody busting their butt on special teams? And I'm sure it wasn't perfect. I know it wasn't perfect, but it was a good night. And the whole deal was we wanted to walk out of this game with an exclamation point and not a question mark, and we did.
Mike, row 2 on your right, last one.
Coach, another first time ever is going to be the Big Ten championship game. You sat in Lucas Oil Stadium a year ago and said you were going to get the team there. It's a year later, and you've done it. How does that feel?
We're a year late.
Yeah, I think Pat Coogan, before the games, told the offense a really motivating speech, and I think it really resonates with a lot of us. He said, what a great opportunity that we can go 12-0, because everyone knew that we could go 12-0. No one was blind to it. One more game, perfect regular season, something that nobody in Indiana history has done. He's like, look at us, a bunch of misfits, guys from FCS, G5, JMU coming up, bunch of transfers, a bunch of rejects that got replaced with their old schools coming to Indiana. And now we have a chance to be 12-0, and now we are 12-0. So what a great opportunity with such a special group of guys. Like Coogan said, all the misfits from across the nation coming together and becoming 12-0 for the first time in Indiana Hoosiers history.
And I would just say, just a brotherhood, honestly. We go out there and we fight for one another every play, every down, every game. And this was a culmination of just all the hard work that we put in over the summer and, in the spring. And we were excited. And, Coach Six said we'll celebrate it for the next 24 hours, and then we'll be on to the next.
We'll go to Zach and then Matt.
How do you, allow yourself perspective on this? Because I know you're always thinking about what's next, and I understand you're going to be waiting to see who you play in Indy in 8 days. But, do you as players allow yourselves that moment to just sort of say, hey, whatever we accomplish from here, we've made history, we've done something historic, we've done something exceptionally difficult, and we've done it together?
Yeah, I think there's definitely that moment, especially tonight, of, wow, we're 12-0. I know that, all the players on the team have the expectation to go 1-0 each week, but it all culminated together, like Rome said, is truly special to be 12-0. However, at the same point, it's such a good opportunity to be 12-0 because now I'm assuming, we're in the Big Ten championship, and I'm assuming if we play well, then, we can get locked in for the college football playoff. And all of us, everybody on the team, coaches, support staff, players, we've all worked our entire lives to get to this point. So at this point, it's not like complacency, like, oh, yeah, we're 12-0, great. We got to keep on going harder, and we got to train harder because this is such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we have ahead of us.
Yeah, and like he said, just honestly piggybacking off of him, we have a lot more that we feel like we can accomplish. So, we're being happy that we're in this situation, blessed by God to be where we are. But, ultimately, we want to keep doing it, and we want to keep stacking wins. So we'll channel the celebration to kind of put it forward to how we can be better and get to the next level.
Stay on the left with Pat Weaver, then Pete.
Roman, it seems like there's been a lot of guys were in control 21-3, but right at the end of the first half, it seemed like that was kind of the knockout blow. Just how big was that run for you? And I mean, I guess how nice was it to finally get one of those big ones?
Oh yeah, it felt good. Honestly, I feel like I was that close a lot of times, and the offense bailed me out. You got a guy like this that can make every throw on the field, and we're always gonna find the end zone somehow. But for me to be able to get out of there and make it happen today or with my legs, it felt really good, and I think that was my career longest run. So building on that, going into the most meaningful football that I think I've ever played, it's a big confidence boost.
We'll stay second row on your left to Pete, and then Jeff.
Can both of you guys talk about the performance of the offensive line to give you the opportunity to do what you just did?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the offensive line. At this point, it's around 7 working offensive linemen that are rotating in with the starting group. And I think it just speaks to not only the coaching of Coach Bostat, but also the leadership on the offensive line, how they're so in sync of one unit. And what makes them special is they're such a brotherhood, and they're so dialed in with each other. The communication, the trust that they have with each other it's uncomparable. I think we had 500 yards of rushing today, or Coach Sig said that after in the locker room. Yeah, which is incredible, and I think it speaks to the offensive line. Whenever I'm back there, it gives me an opportunity to go through my entire progression, and it's that comfort. And so I have comfort in the pocket, so I can do my job and try to be a point guard to get the ball to the receivers, tight ends, the running backs, and it also just helps. The running backs so much as well, and it's just without the offensive line, we would not be 12-0. And they playing at such an elite level, and I think they don't get the credit they deserve. But without any of those 7 guys, to say if you take even one puzzle away from one piece away from the puzzle, then we're not 12-0. So those guys are so special and really have given it their all their season.
Yeah, and I would really just say, like on top of what he said, just being able to plug and play. We had some banged up guys throughout the season, and we haven't missed a beat. And that's awesome. That's something that like a running back like myself really dreams of, being able to go out there, and no matter what 5 guys are out there, they're going to do their job, and I got to do my job to kind of make it easier for them. And I would also say I want to give a shout out to our receivers. They make the great plays catching the ball, but they block downfield really great today. They made my job really easy once I got to the second level. And those are some of the things that kind of get overlooked when you look at the guys like Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper Jr., Charlie Becker. But they do the dirty work too. And I really appreciate them, and I don't want to miss out on that, because they did a really good job, and I wouldn't be where I was with the success today without them either.
We'll go Ravi, then Zach B.
Yeah, Roman, Cignetti likes to say everybody gets up for week 1, week 2, maybe week 3, but it's hard to do it all year long. What drove you guys to the point 12-0 was something achievable?
I really just think it starts with the top. You say a guy like Coach Cignetti, he knows what the winning formula is, and he instills that in everybody. So from him to the coaches around him, to the players, to the staff members, everybody has a mindset that we're going to try to go 1-0 every week, and no matter what we did in the past, it doesn't matter. So when we go back in there Monday and we have the team meeting, we'll chalk this up, we'll watch the film, we'll get over it, and we'll have the same mindset, hungry for another win. And I think that's just what helps us to kind of go through the season and not become complacent or not forget, what got us to where we are.
We'll go Zach B, and the last one to Joe.
Coach talked about tonight looking for improvement, and that being the biggest goal after the bye week, looking for you guys to improve tonight. How much of the focus of this game was on the improvement result aside? How much was it on just the execution tonight?
I think it's a big game, especially being the bucket game, and a lot of animosity between the 2 teams, a lot of things built up within the rivalry. And so whenever you have a big game like that, or any big games you played for the Rat in this past regular season, you can kind of get distracted and think about the bigger picture and think about the end result. But in reality, if you just take it play by play and have that good execution and focus on improvement every single play, then you have a better chance of success and better chance of winning. And that's what we all want to do. We all just wanted to win today and beat Purdue. And because we're able to look for improvement, look for each play as its own, and looking for an opportunity in each play to improve, we were able to win today.
And, he kind of hit it right on the head. But I would say, not overlooking any opponent, because we play in the Big Ten. I feel like it's the toughest conference in the country. I'm a little biased, but I feel as though any given Saturday, any given week, things can happen, and we can't take an opponent lightly. So we want to trend in the right direction going into the postseason. So we were able to go out there and correct some of the things. And obviously we weren't perfect. We got to get on the film and figure out what we can correct to get better. But you always can pull good from a game. You know, it's always something to learn from, and we'll keep pulling and keep working.
Last one in the back to Joe.
Fernando, I'm curious if this is the coldest game you've ever played in your college career and how you're able to kind of adapt and utilize Roman and K-lines and bolster your offense and really put Purdue away.
Yeah, this is actually the coldest game that I've ever played in my career. And I don't know the exact temperature, but, you know, it was a little chilly. It gets a little chilly and warm. However, once you get out there and, you know, there's so much technology, especially with the benches and the hand warmers, it's just like a normal game throughout the entire game. But, you know, my job as a point guard and a leader of the offense is trying to facilitate the best way to get down the field. And when you have guys like Roman, KB, Kobe, and the elite offensive line in front of us, I think that it's just such a pleasure to just sit back there, not watch because, you know, I got to carry my fakes, but still, it's, you know, I hand it off, I'm like, wow, like honestly, I know it sounds like giving the glory to God because I'm like, wow, how amazing is this? I get to see these guys just run down the field and just, you know, kill the defense. And it's such an honor to be able to hand the ball off to these guys, all these running backs and running back room who played fantastic today. And yeah, it was cold in warm-ups, but, you know, so much running down the field, trying to chase all the running backs and their big runs, I got warmed up pretty quick.
Great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank God. God bless. Go Hoosiers.
We'll have Aiden Fisher.
Yeah, for me, when I get handed, you know, the bucket or even the spittoon, first I want to find the fans. I know we have a lot of fans, alums, former players. His game means a lot to them. This rivalry means a lot to them. And then obviously Coach Sig, how much he's done for this team and how good of a coach he is. He deserves to get his hands on that bucket first. So I just wanted to find everybody have a moment. And then selfishly, I wanted the bucket a little bit for myself too, just to kind of show it off to everybody. But yeah, I mean, just a great moment. You know, a big game for us, and a rivalry win that, you know, we expected to win and came in here and do what we need to do.
Mike and then Matt Weaver.
Yeah, Aiden, I mean, when you have perfect regular season, I mean, I know, like you said, you have 24 hours to celebrate, but when you think about it, you said you have a hard time kind of living in the moment. But what does that mean when you hear that? You know, that's going to be forever a legacy that you guys have together.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of on to the next one. I know we have a big opportunity in front of us. I know, you know, the team's in there already talking about it and, you know, the possible scenarios that we could have. So I think for us, you know, 24-hour rule, tomorrow morning we'll start filming with somebody else and, you know, be ready to go. But, you know, a good accomplishment for this program and this team. I'll probably look back in a couple of years and be a little more excited about it, but something big ahead of us that, you know, we're just getting started.
We'll go Matt Weaver, then Mike Schumann.
They got some yards. I mean, Ryan Brown made it kind of tough on you guys. He was running around a lot, scrambling, you know, creating those broken plays. I know you guys probably won the shutout, but you did keep out of the end zone. Just how, I guess, you know, how proud are you of the defense to keep playing even when they maybe got a few plays here and there?
Yeah, I mean, we played extremely sloppy to start. Rush lanes, we weren't doing just our job. We were trying to do too much. We missed a couple sacks, including me, which, you know, I just have to be better. But, you know, there's always room for improvement. So when we look at the film, watch this, you know, we're going to see some things that we hate and that's uncharacteristic for us. But, you know, it's all about improvement and, you know, getting better. And that's what makes this, you know, this sport and this game so fun is, you know, you always have room to improve. But we definitely have to get better for the challenges that are coming in front of us.
We'll go Mike and then Jim.
Stephen, early in the season you were rotating more. Now your roles expanded significantly, and I think you ended up with the 8th most tackles for losses in a season in the history of the program. Can you just talk about that journey?
For me, I guess it's kind of crazy just because from where I'm last year, you know, I was on a team that didn't win a single game. We were 0-12, and now we're going 12-0, kind of having to just learn what it is to be a winner and everything like that. But just kind of trusting the process, trusting the coaching. You know, Coach Haynes be putting me in great spots. So when I get to play, you know, with guys like Fish, Kamara, Wheels, and all of them, it makes my job a lot easier. You know, even with the increased amount of reps I've had.
We'll go Jim on your left, and then Josh.
Aiden, correction for both you guys, you have different perspectives on this. You've been here for 2 years, but Fernando called you guys a group of misfits, basically, that were all put together, and you've done what you've done, which is remarkable. How can you put that in perspective, coming from where you came from, where you are now, and then you joining the team 1 year, and like you just said, win no games, and now where you are?
Steve, you want to take that one first?
I was just buying into the culture and what Coach Sig really preaches every day, just being fast, physical, and relentless, and just really accepting it. had to buy in pretty quick. You know, like I said, like I used to just kind of just hope for a win or just really even a close game, and then now we're sitting here like if we're not playing up to a standard, even if we were up, whatever at halftime, we knew the defense wasn't playing to the standards, and like I had whatever couple of tackles for losses in the first half, but I still knew we could play better. I could do things better on the field, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah, for me it's special. 2 years of this of those misfits coming in, but I mean when you get guys like Steven who just come in and buy in and are obviously extremely talented football players. I think for us it's just the buy-in that we have from our players that makes us so special. Everybody just wants to win. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter what your role is. You get your role and you kind of expand on it. You embrace it, and I think that's what makes us special. A like-minded team that just wants to win is a very dangerous team, and I think we've been proving that.
I will take 3 more. We'll go Josh and then Will.
For either of you, you mentioned the 24-hour rule, but how much do you watch tomorrow's game to watch before you watch the film of whoever you play?
Well, first, really get some recovery in. Even though score was what it was. Still got battle in there. Probably got some bumps and bruises. Take care of that, and then just kind of don't stress about it too much. Kind of keep an eye on it because obviously we know it's kind of up in there who our opponent will be depending on the games tomorrow. But I think really just focus on recovery and just bettering ourselves and then our next opponent.
We'll go Will in the back and then wrap up with Rabbi.
For either of you, what was it like seeing a road environment like this where nearly half the fans are Indiana fans and not the home team?
Yeah, it's great. Our fans travel extremely well, and I think we pretty much took the stadium over tonight. Like I said, this game and this rivalry means a lot to former players, alums, fans, everybody included in Indiana football. So when you travel like that and it can feel like a home environment at times, it's special. We're the best fans in the country, and they show that week in and week out.
Last one to Rabbi.
Yeah, for both of you to do it. Cignetti likes to say everybody gets up for week 1, week 2, maybe week 3, but it's really hard to really do it every week. What drove this group to the point you guys could be 12-0?
Steve, you want to start?
I think Sig talked about a little bit at halftime, just playing for each other and playing for the brother next to you. That's what he really challenged us on this game, and I think that's what kind of has been driving us this whole season, just not want to disappoint the man next to you and really just loving each other the whole season. Even if I mess up, I know Fish got my back. If he messes up, I'll have his back. And kind of, I think that's been the driving force for us this season.
Yeah, just to expand on that, just a team that really loves each other and nobody wants to let each other down. Intrinsically motivated team that it doesn't matter who our opponent is, it doesn't matter when we're playing, what time, Friday, Saturday, whenever we play, we just want to win. That's the goal week in and week out. We know we have something special with this team, and we know we can take this thing pretty far. So going into every game from now on, it's gonna be that same motivation, and we'll be ready to go.
Now, of course, we're going to have all of your coverage leading up to next Saturday, the Big Ten Championship at Lucas Oil Stadium. We're going to have it over the air as well as right here on WTHR Plus for all of your coverage. Once again, from Ross-Ade Stadium, Indiana 56, Purdue 3. That's going to do it for me. I'm Eli Gehn. Enjoy your day.